Joined here at Chelmsford City Football Club with Chippenham Town manager Mike Cook. Mike, it's not a win, but it's a good point on the road today, a 0-0 draw away at Chelmsford. Talk us through that one, mate.
Yeah, I thought they were a good, strong team. It's probably what we were expecting when I watched them last week at Hungerford, and they probably did everything that we thought they'd do. He wants to play a little bit. I thought it was tough for both teams today with the weather being a little bit windy. They were definitely the better team, I thought, in the first half. The penalty, sorry, not the penalty, but the handball was definitely handball for me. But the one that they scored from. So overall, to come here and get a point like that, I'm reasonably pleased.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. It was a bit of a flashpoint in the first half, a bit of a confusing one for many in the ground. The first goal that Mike is alluding to there being Charlie Sheringham's goal. On the turn, it seemed that everyone in the ground saw that the ball had struck Sheringham's arm before he got on the turn and put the ball in the back of the net. The referee's given the goal after what seemed like an eternity in terms of a delay. He's gone over to his linesman, and the linesman sort of said no, it has hit the arm, and the goal was chalked off. And then after that, things sort of tend to quieten down again for the first half. But it's got to be a little bit concerning, really, when the man in the middle with about 10 yards between him and the eye lines managed to miss that one, and it's not the only one he's missed today.
Yeah, I thought it was clear handball as well. I know that Robbie was a little bit further away. I think he probably thought it wasn't, but from where we were, it definitely touched his arm and rolled down actually to his wrist that he touched it with. But thankfully the linesman did see it, and the referee, he made a big decision then, because that could have cost us then. And I think he recognised that he either didn't see it or made the mistake, and thankfully the linesman said it was handball.
Not quite the free-flowing football that we've seen at home in the last few games. Obviously it was always going to be a bit more of a difficult place to come down here on their pitch. It's almost very narrow and really sort of plays into their kind of strengths, really, of keeping things very compact, and didn't really allow us to get any width in the game. And the chances we did have were good little slotted through balls from the likes of Lawal into Geordie, but we did create out here. It's not as if we've come down here today and not tried to play football and taken the point. And it's been a fairly good performance from Chippenham, albeit a different one.
Yeah, I think we had to scrap and scrape for everything today. They matched us up. They looked good in their sort of diamond as well, and it was just going to be a tough game. We got those chances second half because we had a little bit of the wind assist. Possibly could have nicked the game, with the chances that we had. Two brilliant chances. Great ball by Anksy as well to Geordie. We just didn't quite get his first touch right, but overall, I'm sort of picking and nitpicking at things, really, because I'm really pleased with that.
We just sort of said there before the camera turned on, Mike, a couple of months ago we were looking and sort of having a bit of a chat afterwards and sort of failing to see really where the next point was going to come from. At times it looked as if every game was monumentally tough and we were playing somebody who was going to be in and around it, but we were surprising a few, and the questions are going to come thick and fast over the next few months, Mike, wherein Chippenham have ascended to 6th in the league today after Dulwich slipped to a defeat at Hungerford. Oxford losing to Havant as well has now put them in touching distance. We're not only really clinging to those playoffs now, we're sort of going up them. It's starting to look a little bit with respect to the teams around us like we've got a real chance of sticking in there. The longer the games go on, the longer the season goes on and we don't move, we stay favourites to stay in.
Yeah, possibly. I think from my point of view, I think if we're anywhere near with a shout as we get into March, then I'll start thinking a little bit more of what it is, because we've just played a couple more games than everybody at the moment, so that's a slight concern. But we're coming to places like this and we're picking up points, and I did say early on in the season that going away to places like Eastbourne and Hampton and Richmond and picking up those points with some excellent performances. I think this was a different performance today. This was just about scrapping and standing your ground and being defensively cute. We talked about a little bit of sliding and screening with the lads. I thought we'd done really, really well. So some big performances from the back four today as well. They don't normally get a mention, and I think Will Richards, Spencer Hamilton was immense first half. Parr's done well, and I thought Minnow's probably give the ball away for the first time in sort of 3 weeks. So we just had a little bit of banter with him then, but it's a good learning tool for him, because he's playing against the boys Sheringham, and he scored a lot of non-league goals, and I don't really think they had a major chance in the second half, and he's got to take those positives away. I know he wants to be great on the ball every week, but sometimes it ain't going to be like that. But he did well overall, I thought.
Couple of games coming up now, Mike, to sort of end January and open up February. We start on, I believe, the 5th of February with a game at home against Concord. It's a team we've handled already in the league this year fairly comfortably. I believe we went away to them, I think it was 3-1, I think it was, when we went down there. Welling shortly after that. Yeah, these are two teams that I suppose if we're going to be looking now at ourselves with aspirations of staying at the top end of the table, these are going to be the teams that we've got to be looking to take 3 points from.
Yeah, I thought, to be fair to Concord though, in the first sort of 20 minutes, 25 minutes, I thought they were probably one of the better footballing teams that we played, so that'll be something to look forward to, with both teams playing a bit of football. I think, you know, the Peter Taylor effect with Welling had a major effect on us on that day, because he changed a few round, and they were definitely a different proposition to what they were a week or two before he came. So you know, it's like we said, it's going to be tough. We've worked on training on some of the teams that are just going to come and bank up against us. Hopefully that'll be put into play over the next sort of few weeks or month or whatever it's going to be. So we should have a little bit more armoury in the squad now as well, with Danny Greenslade coming back into it. Pleased for him to get sort of 4 or 5 minutes today, and Alex Bray as well coming on. So hopefully it's looking up. If we can get those loans in that we wanted as well, then we won't be too far away with a bit of luck.
It's almost like you read me mind, Mike. That was going to be the next question. Obviously we're talking about squad updates, and with Bray coming back and Greenslade coming back, it offers us a little bit of strength, wherein that you're not sort of limited to what you can do now with your shape. It's offering us an opportunity to put them back in their rightful positions and potentially get us a little further up the pitch. Centre halves, playing as centre halves, it has been a difficult couple of weeks for you. The loans obviously that you're alluding to, I'm obviously certain that most people are going to ask the same question. Ricky made an appearance on the bench for Swindon today. I know obviously you've been speaking with Ben quite extensively to try and get him back here. Are we looking at a good chance of seeing Ricky again in a Chippenham shirt, or is that pretty much closed curtain for us now?
No, I think still a possibility. It's great that he's actually getting on, and that's what we're hopefully here for Swindon. If we can blood those young players like we're doing with Minnow at the moment. Harry Parsons still might be available as well for us, so it just depends what they've done in the transfer market, and if we're lucky enough to get the call from them to say, do you want to take them, and they have done fantastic for us, so there's no reason why we wouldn't. But also I'm looking forward to working again with Cameron Hargreaves. That didn't quite get over the line this week, all the paperwork signed, but I think he's another one who's had a hamstring strain, so the club didn't want him to go out too early, so quite right, they've just kept him back a little bit, so he should be with us on Tuesday for training with a bit of luck. So that bolsters us up, that makes us strong in midfield again, and he's one of those players who can get on the ball, and if you're not going to have Ricky and you've got other players that you can play the ball to in those forward advanced positions, then that's what we're looking for from that sort of diamond, really.
Good stuff. Well, Mike, it's a long trip back to Chippenham, obviously even further with yourself onto Stroud, so we'll let you crack on with your post-match celebrations, but obviously today it's a point on the road. It's another great opportunity now for us to sort of look at that table and see ourselves in that playoffs and to continue to dream. But Mike Cook, thank you very much for today, young man, and all the very best for your safe trip home.
Brilliant.
Top
Cheers,
man. Well done, mate.
Thanks, mate.